Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another City Skyline experimental video where we are currently back in the city where we banned all vehicles. And there's a good reason why I'm back here, is because I want to slightly modify this city and I want to see what happens if we place down taxis and only allow taxis to move around. Now, we've done something very similar like this in the past, but what we kind of did is we set up 2 points and we just really banned taxis from one road. So with a whole entire city banned with all vehicles, what's it going to be like in terms of the only vehicles in the city that is allowed is going to be taxis? Well, nobody asked this question, but I'm still going to give it an answer anyway, guys. Welcome back. If you enjoy these experimental videos, then make sure you smash that like button down below. And if you are new around here too, guys, and you want to be notified when the next pointless experimental video comes out, then please, make sure you subscribe. But some vehicles do kind of drive around. Ooh, they're all over the place right now. Some vehicles do kind of drive around. It's like some of them ignore it. I don't know how that happens. The hearses seem to kind of get about and do their things. So that's kind of all good. But we kind of leave it all. We've kind of left off where the city is pretty much dying. So not much I can do about that. But what's going to happen when I integrate taxis or only allow taxis to move about? See, there's a few things we can kind of tell already. Stuff like the garbage, the placing, that kind of stuff. Taxis can't pick that up, so we're kind of a little bit stuck on that one. But we're going to kind of see anyway. So what I'm going to do is, if I go to my vehicle restrictions right now and say we select this, taxis are this one here. Now, if I allowed the taxis, there we go, and apply it to all between this junction, which is kind of an annoying thing right now, because I have to do this manually myself. So, where's taxis? Do. But stuff like these roads here, it gets a little bit easier, because between the two junctions, which I will zoom in, apply it, it kind of, applies it. Which you would kind of hope it would. See? Genius. So I've kind of got to do this the whole way around the city, which is going to be fun. But if I just kind of do the bigger outer areas first, and that kind of all settles, nice. Then we just got to do these ones kind of manually ourselves. But I'll skip ahead anyway. I'll get this done, and then we'll start playing around with the ability to only have taxis in the city. Right, we've finally done it. Took a while, but we finally got there. So taxis are now allowed in the city, but we don't have them in just yet. So this is going to be kind of the fun part of it right now. So in public transport then, there's a couple of ways we're going to add this in. So taxis, we have 2 versions. We have a taxi depot, which is pretty much a depot that works as a garage and a repair shop for taxis and cabs between shifts. And then we have a taxi stand, which is where they can chill out, where people can wait and stuff like that. So it's kind of like you have like a bus depot and then bus stops, but they don't go from point to point. It's just kind of, sorts out the surrounding area. Now, I'm trying to think of how many of these taxi depots we're going to need or we're going to want. So if I just put, do you know what I'm going to do? Just for the fun of it, this would be quite fun. If I bring this road up, like this, right, I'll play around with this being where all the depots are. And then we can kind of see them all disappear. So we do quite a couple right now. There we go. I'm going to drop quite a few down. Just like that. There we go. And then we'll drop a couple of taxi stands here, there, and everywhere. So I think it's probably best if I do it like on the main road, maybe. Well, I'll do a couple on the main road anyway. Oh, I forgot. I just realized we've got a subway system. I completely forgot about that. Right, do one just there. Right, we got one there. I'm going to do a random one, like literally here, just because. We'll do one over there. We've got one right there. So they're kind of here, there, and everywhere right now. Oh, they're going to need water, right? Yes. So let's just quickly drop some water in for these guys. Now, does the power reach over? Yes, it does. We are ready to rock and roll. So this is another interesting thing as well, is waiting for all the taxis to now literally just appear. It's probably going to be a bulk of people walk over here because they're going to want to work there. And then the vehicles, the taxis just happen. Right? I mean, that's what you would think would happen. Is nobody coming down? Nobody's making... Oh, hold on. A taxi has just appeared out of nowhere. Okay, it's now happening, guys. We got a couple of taxis arriving. Like, I don't know how that vehicle managed to drive through. But we should start to see a few vehicles now appear. And those few vehicles should pretty much only be taxis. But again, we just got to give it some time. It might be that I need to kind of sort out the roads to also allow service vehicles, because things are not going too good, are they really? So if I allowed the garbage pickup and the SOS vehicles, what's annoying as well, I've got to do it on each one because it's not technically, you know, you can do it between two junctions because there's so many freaking junctions. But if I just allowed the middle roads, I'm hoping that might bring the city back to life with these vehicles. You never know. I could be wrong. It could be a wasted cause. But if I have to do it to the whole of the roads, then I'm probably going to go and do that. Just so I can, again, bring the city back to life. Right. That is now the last one. I'm not going to go any further, I don't think. No, because no need to go that far anyway. So... look at that. Vehicles are now coming out in full force. So hopefully they will... I don't need to do these little side roads because they should be able to go down it anyway. So this will be interesting. We'll give it time to kind of simulate through and for it to happen. At least that main center road there, them service vehicles can go down. And we'll just see how it pretty much changes the city. I can see right now that the population... oh, I better say the population's on the turn. It's not. It's not on the turn. Would I say that the city's now back to life? No, not really. But it's as good as you're really going to get it now. We kind of laid access or gave access to that kind of middle road. Still a few issues here and there, but there's nothing too bad at the moment. Now, something I've noticed is nobody really wants to use the taxis. And that's because we have a pretty good, solid subway line going round in a loop. So why would they ever need to use taxis, Seniac? Well, good point. We're going to get rid of them. So let's kill these off. Subway lines are literally no more. And I'm hoping that then would bring out more taxis. Now, I'm seeing a lot more people walk about around this area right now, which kind of looks promising. But it doesn't solve my other problem is, guys... where's the taxis? Like, I'm seeing lots of people walk over here right now, but are they getting into a taxi? I think not. There's one taxi there's up and about. Are they up and around? Maybe they're actually driving around. Yeah, there's a yellow taxi going that way. There is actually taxis here, there, and everywhere. This is actually quite fun. So I'm looking over here, expecting them to all just come out of the buildings, but they actually right now are driving around. So, with that said, we're now up to 4 a week. We've got to give it more time to tick along. Let's see, there's taxis at the stand right now that people get on. I feel like we need more stands, don't we? I think so. So let's just let's make them really accessible. Right now. So it'd be cool to have a stand on each road. And I really don't care if I'm demolishing any of the buildings. I think I got like the anarchy on anyway, so it doesn't really do much. But drop all this down as much as I can. And then we should see a ton of taxis. Well, you at least hope you would. We'll see how things rock and roll. So what will be really interesting now at this point then is we got all these people moving about, doing their thing. Now, what if I was to, for example, extend the road and create like a shopping district that is completely away from this. We'll de-zone the commercial just there, and then it means it's too far to walk, so taxis look like the next best option. Right, let's go up by 40. There we go. We're just going to create a simple grid here. Do a nice little shopping district. I think what I do first then is drop a couple of taxi ranks in. So do some that side, some up here. And then we're going to zone this. I'll do it all of the low density commercial there. I don't really want it to go that far over. We'll get rid of the zone in here for commercial. And we'll replace that with residential so we get even more citizens moving in. They're going to need water over here very quickly. Right, so let it build up. We'll bring the power straight over. So with the only shopping area now pretty much completely out of the way, you'll get the odd people who will walk, because for these guys around here, that's not too far. But another way I could do it is I could upgrade this road here to becoming, because a lot of people walk in, a two-way highway road, which means you cannot walk on one of those. You cannot walk whatsoever. But I also need to make sure that I do the restriction. Vehicle restriction. No cars, no buses, none of those. Applied to all in between. So just to do the service vehicles to allow them to do what they need to do. And just from the quick glimpse that we have, you can see a couple of yellow vehicles moving around. And then those yellow vehicles, guys, are the taxis. That's not too shabby. So how is it going to change things then? Really, it's quite difficult because you can't base a whole transport network off taxis, really, can you? You really can't do that. And it's quite a pain. It is quite a pain. There's a lot more coming over here right now. I think it would be best as well if I got... where's my really small landfill? There we go. Just go around there and pick up all the trash. Now, can I get a couple of stands in here? We're just going to fill up what gaps I can. Going to merge a couple that really shouldn't be merged. So that should provide, again, some more places to getting to a taxi. But you would think you would see a lot more. But it just doesn't really work like that, does it? I even feel like the taxis are not... Well, one, I can tell you right now, one, they're not effective. But I feel like you could do so much better with them. You could turn it into like a downtown New York where you just see yellow cabs for days. But it just doesn't kind of work in the game, does it? It really doesn't. Like, nobody even wants to go over here. You get the odd one or two people who do arrive by taxi. But that is pretty much it. And I don't know what the distance is in which you could travel via a taxi. It's interesting, to say the least. Now, what if I, like junction restrictions, started saying, you know what, you can't cross. Can't cross there. Because a lot of go to work over here. Like, what if I say you can't cross here? So I'm making these abilities to walk a lot worse. Oh, I'm not going to do too many of them, but again, I'm making the abilities to walk a lot worse. In the hopes that they will use more of the taxis. So where is so many people coming from over here right now? That kind of... coming from this side, aren't they? Where are they going? So if I kill off the cross in here. Kill off the cross in there. Right, I'm just trying to move it along a bit further. So it becomes even harder to now walk. So I can't get rid of the paths and stuff. Oh wait, they're crossing here? No can do. So yeah, I've really made it so much difficult. Which at this moment in time, it'd be really easy and solvable by getting into a taxi. And getting a taxi to drop you off where you want. But I don't feel like it's working. I mean, you get a couple of taxis here and there. 7 people a week using taxis. There's something not quite right about this. Now, if I placed some taxi stands here and here, and it can't. How many taxis you get in there? It's definitely a weird one. It really is. It's gone down to 6. So I feel like taxis are just not that effective. I don't know about you guys, but that's kind of how I feel. And that is kind of sad, isn't it? It really is. Not a lot you can do about that. But hey ho, what are you going to do about that? Guys, this experiment is failed. Or failing. Or debunked. I don't know. It just doesn't work, does it? You can't create a fully fledged public transport system by only using taxis. It's just not a thing. It's just something that complements your transport network, but it doesn't solve any issues, really, does it? How can I, like, literally put all the odds against everybody to where they need to use taxis to where it then goes down to 4 per week? Yeah. Something not quite right about that. There is definitely something not quite right about that. But anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.